The following is a Joel Michalec production.
Let me explain something to you. Whenever you come in here and interrupt me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me. And it will then take me time to get back to where I was. Understand?
Hello there, and welcome to another exciting week here on the Joel Michalec Show, featuring the lovely Sharen. I'll introduce myself. For those who are new, I'm Joel Michalec, and across from me is the lovely, lovely Sharen.
Yep, that's me.
The very sexy, lovely, beautiful Sharen.
Stop it.
Welcome to the broadcast. If you're keeping track, it's show number 160, I believe, as we truck along. I think it's 160. Anyway, if you want to get a hold of the show or subscribe to the show, and you really want to subscribe to the program.
Yes, you do.
New shows drop every Sunday. You can go to www.jmtalk.net.
Yes, you can.
And you can listen to the show right there on our website.
Absolutely.
You can subscribe to the show.
There you go.
Check out the YouTube channel, the news, anything else we have to offer on social media at TikTok and Facebook at JM Talk, Instagram and Twitter at JM Talk Radio. You can also email us at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. See, I'm getting better at it.
Oh my! I can't believe you go through all that. You don't have anything written down.
And I had it down pat, and then we went on that holiday break, which turned into an extended break, and then I came back, and I was like tongue-tied, you know, and things like that. So I wanted to make a public service announcement as we started this week.
What?
And that is about banquet pot pies.
Oh, come on, you know.
So
I have food in my mouth.
Last week we were shopping, and we realized the day that we were shopping, we didn't plan, because we do meal planning. We did not plan for dinner on this particular night.
Right.
So while we were there, we were like, well, let's get whatever we want. You know, and I was like, I have a hankering for Popeyes. Now,
We call it a fend night.
Yeah, fend for yourself night.
Right.
Now, I was really in the mood for Popeyes, and I was really looking for either Marie Callender's, even though I think that their meat has gotten fattier over the years.
You think everybody's meat's fatty.
Well, I'm fatty.
Yeah, but no, you think everybody, no matter whose food you have, it's fatty. You judge everybody's food by what you think is fatty. It's not. I've had what you've had that you've said was fatty, and it wasn't.
Really?
Am I not close enough?
You could be a tad. Not half the distance. I didn't say blow the machine up. I said
okay.
So, back up, I would have gone with, I don't even know if Swanson's Hungry Man even makes Popeyes anymore, but I would have taken that as a backup.
Okay.
But there was no Marie Callender's. Hungry Man either didn't have them, doesn't make them, or they weren't there.
Yeah.
So I was left with, there was a couple of beef banquet Popeyes. Now, the funny thing about this is way back in the day, we used to buy them. Remember when they were 39 cents?
I know, right?
And we'd buy like 2 dozen at a time and stock the freezer. They were always there for the girls for lunch or whatever we wanted. We had them.
Right. So, and here's the thing, guys. When you buy Popeyes these days, the container is at least 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. Okay? Because of the height of the
meal inside.
Popeye. Yeah. Because it's bigger for my bigger guy, right? Stop. So when you picked up the package for the banquet,
like a half inch, right?
And it was so thin, you could see through it.
It was so thin, it only had one side.
I was trying to think of that, but I couldn't get it out fast enough. It really was. It was like maybe a half inch.
And 98 cents, still quite a bargain. But, and again...
Not really for the one side that
right,
you had.
Well... And I'm getting to that. But again, we used to eat these. So I don't know what happened, but I will tell you, because at the
their recipe's going downhill.
At the cost to society of having to house, clothe, and feed prisoners, they should cut their food costs by just giving them this garbage. I mean, first of all, I cooked it for the amount of time it wanted, and the tops were starting to burn, stuff bubbling out.
Yeah.
So I pulled them out, let them sit like I'm supposed to. I go to dump them, because I just dumped them into my bowl.
Right.
I dumped them with my burned tops, The bottoms are raw. And when it breaks open and pours into the bowl, it's like pouring water into the bowl.
Ew.
Barely any vegetables, barely any meat.
No.
What did I do? I ate like 2 or 3 forkfuls, and I went through it out. I was so disgusted.
Can't even do it.
There was no flavor to it.
Yep. And guys, he doesn't throw food away.
I don't.
Not because...
If I prepare it because I wanted it, I do not throw it away.
Right. But not because, he's has to, it's because he's so frugal that if he buys something, he's damn sure going to eat it.
Yeah, I am. That's right. I am frugal.
Pennywise. No. Okay.
Pennywise.
No, you're not. No. You make Scrooge look like a gifter. Okay? I can't, how much is that? Oh, honey, it's 25 cents. No, we're not getting it. That's too much.
My threshold is 26 cents, so be nice. Be nice.
I'm just saying.
So
you go over the top a little bit.
So I don't know what happened, but it was the worst pot pie experience ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I told you.
They weren't like that before.
I got this Italian guy's chicken parmesan meal. It was like, when you see these meals from Italians, you're like, oh my God, it's got to be good because, an Italian made it. And
what Italian guy?
I don't know. It was Michael's something. But, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, you did say it was really good, yeah.
I tried to tell you, hey, here. I only ate one little piece of the chicken parm and then some spaghetti.
Right.
And
I'm watching you.
All right. It looked like you were staring up.
Watching you.
Yeah, kind of scary sometimes. Anyway, but yeah, it was really good, and I tried to get you to have some. No.
I was focused on what I wanted. I did try a little bit when I was out on the counter, though.
Did you?
It wasn't too bad for a frozen meal. Because you cooked it in the microwave, and I can't stand. We did this a couple weeks ago on the show. I cannot stand microwave cooked food. If I have to heat something up in a microwave, I'm even a little about that.
Okay.
Beyond soup out of a can, you lost me on microwave cooking.
Okay, so that boggles my mind. It really does. You know why?
Why?
Because you grew up in a time when microwaves were prevalent in homes. Your parents had microwaves. I didn't know they did.
We didn't have a microwave until we moved into the new house when I was 16.
Okay, but still.
So before that, no. My parents cooked. Some meals they cooked individually. Some meals they were out there cooking together. They always cooked.
Okay, but my point is...
Without a microwave.
For convenience, though, I don't understand what you have against microwave food.
The way the food turns out.
Well, because you overdo it. You put it in there for 12 minutes, and it's only a cup of water, and it's, you cook it to evaporation.
No, that is not true.
That is true. That's very true.
Anyway.
So I'm sorry, we got way off
topic. Do not buy Popeyes. And I know it's going to be hard to do given inflation. That's where we're going next.
Okay.
But just try to do something. Make your own. I mean, there's ways. There's all kinds of ways to make your own Popeye in a crock pot. You know.
You can even do them. You can even do them in little cupcake tins. Yeah. Or get the little mini pie plates.
Yeah, but I would. For me, I would need a 9-inch.
But still,
cook it up, dump it into a bowl. Yeah,
it's just a matter of getting the canned biscuits.
Right.
Flatten them out for the bottom, put your stuff in there.
Right.
And you can make it the way you like it seasoned. And then you put one of those awesome canned biscuits on top.
Yeah.
And Bob's your uncle.
Yep. So earlier this week on my Facebook page, I put a post up because I had to get gas the other day, and it was $3.57.
Oh, yeah.
And it just amazes me to see the president on news interviews saying that he's got things in the works, and he's, the gas is going to come down. He's going to take care of this, and the gas goes up after he says that all the time. But anyway, this isn't a political show. But $3.57 the other day here in Delaware, and so I posted something that's a change. $3.57 for gas here in northern Delaware, because I know it's different in different places. And I got a lot of feedback. I got some feedback from downstate. I got feedback about it being what was it? Almost $4 in Pennsylvania, over $4 in Arizona, and an old classmate of mine in California said it's over $5 in California.
Wow.
So I was thinking that my first thought was, and not in a rude way, but I was like, but isn't everything more expensive in California, and why? Like when you talk about Florida, people say if you move to Florida, the cost of living is lower, and it's more comfortable to live in Florida because of that.
Right. But that's not true.
I do understand that too. I understand that in the last year or so, that's not true anymore. So I was like, I thought about my friend in California, over $5, and I was like, so if it's more expensive to live out there, why? So I went on to, where'd I go? IndexMundi.com, which allows you to index states in a comparative mode.
Okay.
And I said, let's go one extreme to the other. Let's go Delaware versus California. Now, this gives a lot of demographic information, a lot of stuff that means nothing.
Right.
Not only to what we're talking about, but also means nothing to the point I'm going to make.
Right.
So when you talk about inflation, what I was looking for is, what is the median rents? What is the median pays? What is the median? So I highlighted just a couple things here, comparing Delaware to California, $3.57 here, over $5 there. And this is what I found out. First of all, the median gross rent in Delaware is $1,110 per month. That's the median. Obviously, we know people who are paying $2,500.
I know.
The median rent in California is $1,429. Not too bad.
No.
A little higher, but not too bad. Persons per household in Delaware, 2.58, 2.96 in California. Not much of a difference per house, people per household.
Right.
Now, here you go. So here you go. Median household income, okay, in Delaware, $65,627. And in California, $71,228. I mean, they're not that far removed from us. You can't say, well, it's because things are more expensive in California because of the cost of living or whatever. Right. I know home prices are a lot higher there, but the people make the same per capita income over the last 12 months in Delaware, $33,989. In California, $35,000. So the per capita, when you start breaking it all the way down, per capita, we're really close to this state that pays over $5 for a gallon of gas.
Yeah. But Delaware is also highly sought after for
corporate taxes.
One main reason.
Tax-free.
Well, but there's other states that are tax-free. A lot of companies register their business in Delaware. Mm-hmm. They don't have no association with Delaware.
Right, because of the corporate taxes.
Right.
I think this is the last thing I highlighted. Let me see. And watch our time, too. Yeah. Last thing I highlighted, which I thought was interesting, the percentage of people in poverty. Delaware, 12.5%. California, 12.8%.
Wow.
I found that really interesting since you see on the news a lot of homeless.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Homeless tent. Oh, man, what are they?
Tent towns.
Tent towns? Is that what they call them? Tent towns, tent cities? Basically, underneath your underpasses, homeless people just setting up tents, man, out of whatever they can find to stretch across 3 sticks into a V and sleep under it.
Yep.
Tent cities, yeah, thank you. So, I just wanted to look at that and go, and I could have done other states, but I thought, what's the most extreme? People just talk about how expensive it is to live in California. So I wanted to take that and compare it to what we're going through here. Because then you look at this and you go, so why is gas so much higher there? Now, that might have to do with fuel tax. That's a per state thing.
Gotcha.
But what amazes me is the amount of money we're paying for gas when we are, how did I hear this? Did I hear this correctly? I think we are the highest oil producing country or the highest refined. Like, in other words, we can be self-sustainable, but even though
we were for a while,
under different administrations.
Yeah.
But they'll move our oil into reserves and continue dealing with other countries for importing.
Which is ridiculous.
Right. When they open up the reserves, if you can recall back to the Obama years, when he opened the reserves because gas prices went up, gas prices shot down. Well, that's because we were using our own oil, which wasn't subject to the import costs and stuff.
Exactly.
So, and such like that. So, everything's going up. It's getting increasingly difficult
to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
We not only do we see like the reason we had so much trouble that day trying to figure out what we're going to have for dinner is
Right.
because a lot of the shelves are empty. So you have empty
Exactly.
shelves and high prices. And I saw that some Rite Aids Rite Aid has decided, and I think it's in New York, to shut down for good several of their Rite Aid stores because theft is so high. I actually saw somebody who went into a Rite Aid that was getting ready to close, and the shelves were bare. I mean, empty, like entire aisles of emptiness, and not because they started clearing the shelves, but that was people just walking out with stuff.
Right.
And there's this new rule or this new whatever that says if they're walking out with stuff, don't stop them.
That's
That's
individual
ridiculous.
corporate thing. That's a corporate decision.
Because Walmart's doing it now, Home Depot's doing it now. If I was a dirty son of a bitch, I'd make out pretty good on a Sunday at a Home Depot.
That's ridiculous. I mean, it just affects everybody else.
It does.
It really does. You walk out with stuff without paying for it, then they have to jack prices up.
Right.
To make up for
Aside
the
f-
loss of the product that you just stole.
Yes. Aside from the second month in a row of 7.5% inflation,
Yeah.
highest since 1982,
Yeah.
we have inflated costs by companies
Yep.
who have to charge back to everyone, all the good people,
Exactly.
because of the bad people that steal from them.
Yep,
So we have
exactly.
that on top of the inflation.
Yep.
Something has to give. To the
It does.
point of my post on Facebook when I mentioned the gas, something has got to give.
Yes. And the current administration needs to give back what they took away at the pipeline. He shut down that pipeline the first day.
Yeah, but there's
no.
there's two thoughts on that.
No.
So
I'm sorry. That's exactly when
too late to get into that anyway. but-
the prices shot up. That's exactly when his first day.
that would
and the-
require more investigation.
Okay, well, I know.
That some other show can do.
Right. No, but I mean, I do read the news occasionally.
Be careful what you read.
Well, yeah. And his name is Joel Michalec, and that's exactly where I get my news from.
Anyway, so all right, what do we got? So coming up later on the show. Listen, we forgot the Wombat 2 weeks ago, so it's reserved. We have it.
Good.
And it is the cat's meow, let me tell you. So we have
Wow.
that coming up later on. When we come back, we're going to talk about Chicago, thanks to our daughter sending us a heads up on a really
Oh my
weird
gosh.
story. We have to talk
Yeah.
about that. We have to talk about contact lenses. So we have some really interesting stuff going on. And plus the Wombat of the Week. We're going to squeeze all that into the next segment, and we promise we'll do so. So don't go anywhere. Stay right where you're at, because we're coming back after this quick thingy.
This is New York's super oldie station, 920 WON, The Apple, Brooklyn, New York.
The following conversation is real. It took place on Tuesday, June 8th of 2004 between a Blonde Star advisor and a subscriber.
Blonde Star emergency. This is Steve. Is there an emergency in your vehicle?
Oh my god, oh my god. I've locked myself in my car and the keys are on the outside.
Ma'am,
Oh my god.
ma'am, I need you to calm down.
Okay, it's just that the windows are rolled up and I'm starting to sweat. My keys are on the outside.
Now, your keys are on the outside of the vehicle?
Yes, oh my god.
Now, does your car have automatic locks or...
Yes.
Okay, here's what I need you to do. Take hold of the inside of your door handle there. Are you doing this? The shiny thing. Grab the shiny thing.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay, now give that a tug.
Okay.
Did it open?
Yes, oh my god, thank you.
Okay, now what is that noise?
Oh, that's my door alarm.
Yeah, but that only happens if the keys are in the ignition, hun.
Oh my god. You know what?
Your keys are actually in your ignition.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, thank you so much, Blonde Star.
That's why we're here. Do you need anything else?
Blonde Star.
No, that's
Always
it.
on, because you're always blonde.
Welcome back to the program, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's the Joel Michalec Show featuring the lovely Sharen. Yes, we confirmed it is show 160 during the break. The lovely Sharen said 16 what? I said it's 160.
Okay.
So we're at the top of the 160s.
But I had no idea what you were talking about. All you did was shout out
'Cause I was-
160.
I was concerned because early in the first part, I was like, this is show 160. And, is it really?
Okay.
So 160, if you just minus weeks that we took off and a couple special programs that didn't count as
Yeah.
numbers, that's 160 weeks.
Yeah. That's 160 times.
That's
you and I
over
sat
3 years.
here across the table from each other.
Yeah, I think you came in, though, around 20 or 21 because you weren't here.
Don't even start.
Not
Don't
year.
start.
Count. I did the first 17-ish episodes, season 1, and then you came in at the end of season 1 to do the Christmas special, which was not a podcast, and then stayed after that. So I didn't mean the year 20 or 21.
I knew what you meant.
So anyway,
I didn't mean the year either.
let's take a virtual trip to Chicago, shall we?
Oh, yay. I love Chicago.
And when we talked about this story, you made an interesting point about Delaware, which we'll feed into it afterwards.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
So, Chicago has a new single-use foodware ordinance, which started January 18th of 2022. Now, this is from the Chicago.gov website to give you the bare government text of the law.
Right.
The single-use foodware ordinance, effective January 18th, 2022, requires that food dispensing establishment for any delivery or takeout order provide single-use foodware only upon request from the customer or at a self-service station.
Wow. Come on.
Single-use foodware means any eating utensil or other item to be used as part of food or beverage service that is designed and intended by the manufacturer for only one usage before being discarded. This includes forks, spoons, sporks, it's in the law, knives, chopsticks,
It actually says forks.
other
Funny.
other eating utensils, stirrers, drink stoppers, splash sticks, cocktail sticks, toothpicks, napkins, wet wipes, cup sleeves, beverage trays, you'd hate that, disposable plates, and condiment packets.
Right. And
A self-service station means an area dedicated to customers taking away single-use foodware and condiments. So even the self-service stations are emptied out and you have to ask
right.
if you need that.
Which is ridiculous.
So I did some research into it after our daughter in Chicago sent it to me.
Right.
I said, let me check this out. So I found out that the measure was introduced by 39th Alderman Samantha Nugent, and it's designed to reduce the plastic waste. We'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
She says, it started in my own house. If I have too much stuff and I just don't need it, how can I make this change? And all of us can do our part. So she takes an idea that she started at home, which is like, look, let's not collect this stuff. And believe me, I know what she's talking about because we collect that stuff.
Definitely. Yep.
So she says, we can encourage good behavior, reduce our carbon footprint, cut down on waste, save our restaurateurs some money. This is a win for me and for our community and the city.
Wow. Come on.
She says on an annual basis, it'll probably save thousands of dollars. Oh, no, that was by chief and owner of Pasta di Arte Trattoria Italiana, Mark Giannini.
Wow. That's crazy.
So the problem is, how do you enforce that? How
Well,
do
you take away your utensil and, whatever bar.
Okay.
And when the customer comes back complaining, all they can say is, I'm sorry, it's a law. We're not allowed to give it to you anymore unless you ask for it.
Now, how many Karens do you think that's going to spark?
About a lot.
About a lot. Yeah, about that number.
Yeah.
About that number. Not only that, but
Absolutely.
then after the manager,
I would be a Karen for that.
after the general manager goes home for the day, do you think the night shift is going to pay attention to that? They're just going to.
Here. Have some.
And this list included napkins, right? Did it say napkins?
I believe it did, yeah.
Napkins. That's crazy. So if you go to drive-through
Yep.
or takeout, you have to ask for napkins now. You can't choose to take your own napkins.
That's ridiculous.
So that'll reduce plastic waste.
I'm telling you, these freaking politicians.
So my point to this was, so there's nothing else going on in Chicago that you can do something about.
But you have to worry about
right, but we have to worry about that.
utensils.
Exactly. That's sort of what I
Because why?
That's sort of where I was going. Like, there's nothing else going.
Yeah.
But you had made mention because a couple years ago, Chicago came out with the no plastic bag law,
Right.
and you made a very interesting point.
And
Soon after, Delaware.
Okay. Well,
Go ahead. After you. Let me just point.
it was my point. It was my point, and you took it away.
Well, you were busy stacking.
Well,
Go
no,
ahead.
I'm conversating.
As Johnny Cash once sang, "Time's a wasting."
Oh, damn. And I said, when Katie told me about this new law about the bags, I told her, I said, watch, Delaware is going to do the same thing. And a couple years after Chicago did it.
If that.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a couple of years. Delaware has now got the same rule that you no longer give out bags. You have to bring your own.
But yeah, they do. They just give out thicker plastic bags now.
Better ones. But yeah, so
you see there being a possibility that we're going to have
I will bet you a dime a dozen.
single-use foodware ordinance.
Yeah.
Here in Delaware.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to search that. Find out how long it'll take Delaware.
Anyway, so if you go to Chicago, you have to now remember you have to ask for your foodware items and no ketchup allowed on hot dogs. So just keeping up.
Ketchup on hot dogs is nasty.
Anyway, so I stumbled across some of the most interesting things in the Webiverse.
Okay.
And I found out that there is a new type of jewelry on the market, and it's a contact lens that has strands like a thin chain hanging off of it with diamonds or other gems to make it look like you're always crying.
And that is my reply.
Dutch artist designer Eric Clarenbeek is the person who created the new look, which is essentially just a diamond tied to a string.
Crazy.
Tied to a string and hanging off of your contact lens.
That's crazy. Come on now.
And the really weird part about that, and I will never wear contacts, but I know contacts can fall out on their own.
Yeah, I mean, if you snag the chain, yeah, absolutely. But on a typical basis, unless you don't have your contacts in properly.
But there's that possibility. So now
there's always a possibility.
So you quadruple that because now you got stuff hanging off the lens.
I'm sorry. I almost said it.
The eye jewelry project.
I almost gave an F-bomb.
The eye jewelry project, as it's called, was an attempt to make contact lenses more fashionable. But for those who are squeamish when putting in contact lenses regularly, it kind of sounds like it could be a nightmare.
Right.
Plus, if you lose these contacts, now you've lost diamonds as well.
I know, right?
So, now this is not a very good picture of it.
Is it that time for me already?
What time for you?
Let me see.
It's not time for you. That's a weird picture of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it is crazy. I think I was running out of ink when I printed that.
Yeah, I'd say.
So imagine too how painful this is because it's anchored low, as you can see on the. So now what? Yeah. Now you have that pulling down, and your bottom lid would be irritated because when you blink, your bottom of your eyelid would be irritated by this string hanging off.
I know.
I mean, this is like
the whole idea is bizarre.
I wonder if the healthcare industry came up with it for another reason to see patients. So anyway, Eric Clarenbeek, he has a Twitter account that is protected, so it means that you can only follow him if he knows you. Like, he doesn't even let people follow him.
Right. Wow.
But I guess, you would think that if he creates something like this, That's the kind of guy you want to keep your eye on.
Get it? Keep your
Because he's
eye
going places. I don't know where, but he's going.
Probably to hell.
He's going somewhere.
Well.
So you wouldn't. I would hope that you wouldn't wear this, because to me this is so silly.
Yeah, that is. No, you know what? I lie. I would.
You lie?
Once. I would wear it once. Just to freak people out.
Just to let it rip your eye out?
Yeah, but then I wouldn't wear them again.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay, so I want to mention probably a very unpopular subject.
Yeah?
Yeah. Real quick before we get into the Wombat of the Week, because we do have to get into the Wombat of the Week.
Yeah.
So everyone knows, I think, how I feel about any third-party apps.
Yeah.
You know, especially ones that say, we're going to do this for you.
Right.
You've had some issues with a third-party app who decided that they know better where your stuff should be shipped, and they shipped it to our old address.
Yeah.
Even though the company you ordered from had your proper address.
Right.
So somehow your third-party app reading information off your credit card instead of the information that changed your delivery address. I don't want to discuss it. You might like this app. I don't understand why you need it or have it. Because if I order something, I get the tracking information and I track it. If I want updates, I tell the tracker, the deliver FedEx, UPS, whoever, I can sign up for their text. Okay. So I don't get it.
I understand your point. The reason I have it, okay, number one, you know how forgetful I am. Okay? Not that I'm forgetful, but I do forget a lot. That's number one. Number two, I get my shipping notifications across the board for any item I order.
Which I can see that being important for you because we get 2 to 3 deliveries a day, so I get it. But I'm saying look at what they've done, not once with the same company, twice with the same company. They messed up your shipping address.
I get it.
So
and it's very frustrating. I won't deny. However, it's also the fault of the company I ordered from the second time. Like when they replaced the order, it's their fault the second time.
So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I saw this ad in my Twitter. Yeah, ads.
Yeah, right.
And it's a third-party app that says, see exactly what subscriptions you're paying for and cancel those you're not using. It's called Truebill. So you can download Truebill, and I guess I don't know or care because I'll never get it, how it goes out to find out what streaming subscriptions and stuff you pay for, magazines, or any subscriptions.
Yeah.
And it puts
weird.
And it puts it into like things so you can decide. I know what I'm paying for, and I'll decide on my own. Like I don't understand these third-party apps.
Something like that, I wouldn't get into. But as far as if you're talking about like Cash App or something like that, it's important that I have them because some people that I deal with don't have bank accounts.
I won't do any of those Cash Apps.
Okay, I know that, but I'm saying, if they don't have a bank account, but they have like one of those NetView cards or one of the reloadable cards, they can do a Cash App that way. So, and that's why I do it. And the money's pretty instant.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't subscribe to those kinds of things. And especially these are my favorites. Like if you go to Royal Farms or Wawa and you have the rewards card, they want you to tie in a credit card.
Yeah.
So you can also use it at the pump. No.
Right.
No. You don't tie into my bank. You stay away from my bank. There's enough people trying to get into my bank.
Exactly.
But anyway, it's for another time. I just want to bring that up because we had problems for 2 weeks with this third-party app you have.
Right.
Then I got this ad that I think is the stupidest thing to get an app that will tell you what subscriptions you have and help you suggest what to cancel. Stick a sock in it.
Right.
All right, so that brings us to the Wombat of the Week. If you want to get involved in Wombat of the Week, it's very easy to do. Just drop us a line with a verifiable link to a news story, a link to a verifiable actual news story. of stupid people doing stupid things.
Right,
Send it to us at joelmahalicradio@gmail.com, or you can also send it to us as a DM over Facebook at JMTalk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one it's sort of older, but apparently it came back, so that's why it's actually 2 stories I'm looking at here. So anyway, now we have this issue in the world today, which my dad used to say, it's not for me to understand people's whatever. Like for example, he would say, it's not for me to decide what religion you believe in. What God you praise.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yep. And I thought that was a great opinion to have. And it was his way of saying, hey, you do you, I'm going to do me. And that's the way it is. It's gotten worse since then. That used to be it. But now it's like, oh, I don't identify as a man or a woman. Okay.
I identify as a leaf.
Right. So it's getting more and more difficult. And I saw a really great interview with somebody who was trying to challenge somebody who doesn't identify as anything.
Right.
And they weren't making a good argument. Like the person from the news was winning, and the other person was getting very argumentative and downright extreme and verbally violent because he was like, well, no, if you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. That's the way it is. That's nature.
You said penis.
Wow. Really, Beavis and Butthead? So, oh my God. Okay, we got to get through this. So anyway, I had to look this up because it's real. Iowa students and parents report kids wearing collars, barking, hissing. Okay.
What?
Yes. And apparently they identify as furries.
Oh my God.
Yes. So a couple of weeks ago, okay, this is an older story, so not a couple of weeks from now, the Iowa Standard received an email, and they had to go back and really look at this. Supposedly, a female student was identifying as a cat, and the school was allowing kitty litter to be placed in the classroom or the bathroom or both for this human to use.
Wow.
So they had to look into this. The district denied their initial allegations, but a couple days later, they were told by students, they were told about students identifying cats in other districts. And so they went on a tear to find out more. They found out the students were allowed to wear cat ears and tails, while other students were not even allowed to wear hats if they wanted to.
It's ridiculous.
So the furries, as they were told, are also allowed to hiss and meow at other students.
I can't.
So then people from another district said that they had students that were allowed to wear spike collars and bark at other students because they identified as dogs. So a week previous to this all coming out, the writer, the news reporter, was at a meeting of the Clay County GOP booth at the county fair, and a student had told him that this sort of thing is happening even at their school in Clay County. So this is widespread and probably in more than just Iowa. In fact, there was a video that supposedly came out of Tennessee of similar issues. So the problem is
the whole thing about
the whole thing is the problem. And I understand that there is a lawsuit against one district that will not allow some parents are suing because the district will not allow kitty litter in the bathrooms for their children who are furries. First of all, this
unsanitary, number one.
Right. This is going to be really unpopular. I'm sorry, but I have a real problem with parents that accept their school-age students identifying as something other than what they are.
Exactly. Human.
This is not a movie.
No.
But I'm starting to feel like we're stuck in some weird Twilight Zone episode with this stuff.
Yep. I'm right there with you, brother. Calm down.
I
could tell you were getting heated about it.
Yeah, I mean, when a parent is going to sue the school district for not allowing their kid to take a dump in kitty litter, I'm
in the middle of class.
That's really
everybody watching.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. This is not protecting the children. This is like, dude.
Enabling. Exactly.
Enabling stupidity.
Yes.
Oh, man, we went way over on time. Wombats. All these parents, all the kids that act like this and the parents that allow them and enable them to act like this. Wombats. Probably too numerous to mention.
Exactly.
So, and I'm sorry if that's unpopular, but you know what? It's abnormal to me. It's abnormal to me.
It's abnormal to everybody.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's at your Wombats. Send us your stories. Joel Michalec Radio at gmail.com. Time real quick for the lovely Sharen to say goodbye. Thank God she's probably thinking that I get to leave this. What's he going to talk about next? Say goodbye, Sharen.
No. Goodbye, Sharen.
All right, so she's taking off, and I'll be back after this quick break to wrap
put
things
orders
up
together.
with some more interesting stuff. Hang in there.
Hi, this is Tara. You're listening to my puppy, so don't go anywhere. He'll be right back.
I want to get back to kissing the cheeks of my grandbabies, making Sunday dinner with a house full of family and lots of laughs.
COVID-19 has changed how we live and how we feel. But now, there are vaccines. And they are the very first step that let us get back to what we miss most. It's okay to have questions.
Is it safe?
Should I wait? Now, get the facts. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Are you ready for some more Joel Michalec Show?
I'd better not. I have what doctors call a little bit of a weight problem.
I have the irrefutable proof that the Earth is not flat. Here it is. If the Earth was flat, don't you think cats would be on the edge of it, knocking off? A new episode every Sunday at joelmichalec.com. Hello and welcome back to part 3 of the program, folks, the Joel Michalec Show, featuring the lovely Sharen. And here we go, part 3, final part of the show, and a couple things to discuss. One of them would fall into the category. This is a category I like doing. I like being able to bring some technology news and things that you need to know out there, especially when it comes to security. And right now there's a lot of things happening with the economy and as it relates to jobs. With the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people walked away from their jobs. A lot of people decide, hey, I'm going to go start something new. So there's this whole big, they call it the Great Resignation going on, and people refinding themselves and doing other things. So there's a lot of applying going on, a lot of negotiating going on, probably higher than I've ever seen it in my lifetime, all caused because of this coronavirus pandemic. So I say this all the time, that malicious people who want to scam you will find every way that they can in order to scam you out of your money, right? You've probably heard me say it. I say it all the time. There it is. They will always try to scam you out of your money. And this is no different. So the FBI has been warning people that scammers are continuing to spoof job listings in order to steal money and private data. It's not only their money. If they can get your personal information, it's as well as stealing your money, because they'll steal your identity. And it's increasing. According to a lawsuit filed by Riot Games, in November, a team of scammers undertook an extensive, coordinated, and highly sophisticated fraud scheme that lured evil professionals into handing over banking information and other sensitive data by dangling fraudulent job postings and interviews with fake human resource representatives. Also, other companies reporting the same scams: Biogen, Vox Media, Harvard University, as well as other ones. So the FBI has been warning that the scams have actually cost victims, each person who is a victim of one of these spoofed interviews or spoofed job listings, an average of $3,000, and often comes with a negative impact on their credit score. So imagine that. Imagine applying for a job, talking to people, and finding out it's not real, but you're handing over information because you think this is a potential employer, and they're ready to hire you. And I mean, and that's that. But then think of the other side. Think of the other extreme, that somebody goes through those lengths, so many levels to defraud you. People to make you think they're actually interviewing you. People that, the lengths of doing communication back and forth based on fake job listings. And, sometimes boggles my mind, but because normally I would say if people just take a second look, they might see through it. But I think that's still true. But I think it's becoming harder to do that because scammers are getting smarter. And I think so. I think we've kind of come to this point where it's about even. Can you take a second look? Yeah, but it might need a third look because they brought their game up. They've brought their game up to combat what you've been doing to try to see through them. So, more according to the FBI, fraudulent job listings include links and contact information that direct applicants to spoofed websites, which has been going on for a long time, spoofed email addresses, and spoofed phone numbers controlled by the scammers, where the applicant's personal information can be stolen and then sold or used in additional scams. Part of the alert reads, in some cases, the scammers use the identities of actual company employees to increase the perceived authenticity of the job post. Okay, so according to the story that I read on the record, although it's difficult to know the scale of the problem, recruiting sites say that they stop millions of scams every year. LinkedIn said that it removed 232,000 items of spam and scam content reported by members between January and June 2021, just 6 months, and that was up from 198,500 during the same period in 2020 and 104,600 during the same period in 2019. So that is more than double in a 2-year period. So the problem is the things that people are falling for, and maybe the things that you should look for fake offers, is look for things like work from home positions, because it makes it easier to trick people through text or phone-based interviews instead of in person, because, hey, it's a work from home. The FBI says, additionally, technology has made this scam easier and more lucrative. And they're referring to the rise in third-party recruiting sites and tools. Third-party, where did I hear that before on this program today? Third-party recruiting sites and tools that make it easier to spoof companies and conduct fake interviews. So you think you're getting an interview, or you think you're maybe getting that dream job, and you're being scammed out of your information. Like I warned so many other times, be careful you don't get scammed. It happens if they can find any fabric of society and life in general that they can manipulate and turn the tables on us, they will. And we know it works. We know that they're successful because this is a tens of billions of dollars business each and every year. That is a lot of money to come out of people's pockets when right now we're all fighting for saving those pennies and those dollars. And so we have to be ultra careful. So when it comes to texts and emails and maybe messages on job sites that you belong to, you know, I mean, this article only mentions one, LinkedIn, but that's a hell of a lot of scammed and spoofed job offerings being dumped in a 6-month period from one of the biggest networking sites for looking for a new career. I don't have numbers for Monster, Career Builder, Indeed. Think about all these other sites that people join in order to get start a new job, get a new career, press the restart button. So we have to find a way. We have to find a way to take an extra step and look and see if we can find something not very legitimate about these companies that, or the ads, not the companies. And maybe it's just because I'm just skeptical. I can't even say the word today. I'm leery about everything. Put it that way. Okay, so while you're trying not to get scammed, Saturday Magazine put out an article that says 100 ways you can slightly improve your life without really trying. Now, I don't want to go over all 100 ways, but there were some interesting things. I want to fly through quite a few of them while I have some time left. But, you know, It's true. We need this. There's so much stress out there. We need to improve our life, try to decrease our stress. It's hard enough as it is. But I just thought if we talked about a couple of these things, if I throw out a couple of these things, you snatch it off the podcast, you write it down, maybe you try it. So a couple of things maybe to ease your mind. First of all, they say exercise on a Monday night because nothing fun happens on Monday nights. Am I right? Probably pretty right. If you're on the fence about making a purchase, wait 72 hours before you buy it. It gives you time to think about it. Gives you some, real time to think, especially if it's a big purchase, right? Now this is interesting, and it tells you that this article did not come out of the United States. Consider going down to 4 days a week, work week. It's likely a disproportionate amount of your fifth day's work, which is taxed anyway. So you'll lose way less than a fifth of your take-home pay. Obviously, from another country, which a lot of countries other than the United States have tried, are trying, or have perfected shorter work weeks. I don't know if you know that, but that's true. Okay. It says send a voice note instead of a text because they sound like personal mini podcasts that you're sending to the person. Pretty interesting. Just be careful what you say in case that person is listening to the text around other people. Always bring ice to a house party because there's never enough ice. I found that to be interesting. Get your lighting right. Turn off the overhead one. Turn on lots of lamps, but then turn them off when you leave a room. And I can see that. The overpowering light from above, I don't like this one. It says sharpen your knives. I mean, if you're trying to relax, why would you sharpen your knives? It's funny because the lovely Sharen was making chicken jerky for Molly, the security service here, this morning, and I was telling her I cringe when because she sharpens the knife. She's got one of those little things. She just sticks the blade in and pulls it back. Sticks it in and pulls it back. Now she does it really slow. I don't know if that's for effect, but it works. It does not de-stress me, I will tell you that. Another idea that probably didn't come from the United States. Feeling sluggish at work? Try the Pomodoro Technique. 25 minutes on, 5-minute break, and repeat. Can you see taking 2 breaks an hour at work? This one I found really interesting, and I'm thinking about trying it. Buy a cheap blender and use it to finely chop onions. It saves on time and tears. Interesting, but I will tell you this as in regards to that. I tried the technique a couple times now of when I cut an onion, don't cut through the eye. Leave the eye intact until you're done. And I haven't had any tears, so it works. Keep your children's drawings and paintings because, first of all, they're memories. And take the best ones and put them in frames and leave them hanging up. Set aside 10 minutes a day to do something you really enjoy. Even if it's reading a book or playing a game, I think that could be important. That's an important de-stressor. Taking time for yourself, it's hard to do. It's hard to do in society and in the way life goes these days. Reuse plastic bags, even bread bags. Anybody remember when you were kids and before you put your snow boots on, you had to put bread bags on your feet? Socks, bread bags, snow boots. Just wondering. If you have to put your coat in a cloakroom, take a photo of the tag on your coat. Okay. One for the lovely Sharen. Add the milk at least 1 minute after the tea has brewed. So don't put your milk in right away. Or your creamer. Whatever. Laugh shamelessly at your own jokes. Well, you have to do that. You have to do that. Also, I've heard this before. A glass of water before bed. But if you're diabetic, I mean, it's an extra pee call in the middle of the night. Start Saturday morning with some classical music because it sets a calm tone for the whole weekend. Interesting. If possible, take the stairs. Actually, I do anymore. I do take the stairs if I can. Always be willing to miss the next train. Well, Yeah, I guess if you're willing to do that, you won't be so stressed out. If you got to get on that train, though. I like this one. Be positive to rude strangers because it's oddly thrilling. And it is. It is. Ask questions and listen to the answers. That's a good one. Connect with nature. Stand outside and enjoy nature. Yes, take a few minutes to do that. Go for a walk without your phone. That's good advice. Eat salted butter because life's too short for unsalted. Stretch in the morning and maybe in the evening. Sleep with your phone in a different room. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm on too many emergency call lists at work. Instead of buying new shoes, get old ones resold and buy new laces. What? Don't have Twitter on your phone. I do, but I'm not very active on it, so it doesn't bother me. Text to say thank you. Okay? Take out your headphones when you're walking and listen to the world. Yeah, it was a really nice day the other day because we had some nice weather this week for being February. And I took Molly for a walk. Which didn't last long because there down the road is a gun range. And the wind was also, there was a breeze, a rather heavy breeze. And some days, on nice days when you can hear them firing at the range and the wind is going a certain direction, it's even louder because it's carrying it towards us. You would have thought the Battle of Gettysburg was going on behind the townhomes across the street from my house. So that walk didn't last long. So it's a little difficult to take your headphones out and enjoy the world when it sounds like there's a battle going on. Anyway, buy secondhand. I believe that. Buy in person. Get a little harder to do. People are crazy. That's why I don't like going outside. Let's see. Learn the names of 10 trees. I guess. Call an old friend out of the blue. That's a great idea. Seriously. Always have dessert. I am hip for that. Sing. Always book an extra day off after the holiday. Okay. And here's one. Don't get a pet or do get a pet. I guess it depends. If you have a pet, don't get a pet. If you don't have a pet, go get a pet. But pets come with responsibilities and and the money. You can't put your dog on your work's insurance. I wish you could, but you can't. If you're staying over at a friend's place, strip the bed in the morning for them. And finally, I want to tell you, listen to albums that you liked when you were a teenager. I mean, my goodness, that's the soundtrack of your lives. Listen to them. Anyway, just some things that you can do to improve your life without even trying. So if you hop over to getpocket.com, you can get the full list of 100 things. Meanwhile, though, that brings us right to the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for listening to the show this week and remind you that you can subscribe to the podcast and don't miss an episode. They drop every Sunday over there at www.jmtalk.net. And you can also join us on social media. Just stop by Twitter. No, not Twitter. No, get it right now. TikTok and Facebook at JM Talk. Instagram and Twitter at JM Talk Radio. Drop me a line at joelmichalec@gmail.com. Thanks for listening this week, folks. Be good to one another. Take a look or listen at the list. Try a couple things, and we'll catch you here again next week. Bye-bye, everybody.